Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another fresh out of the movie theater edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade. I just got through watching Wolfman, and this is a film that honestly I was both anticipating, I would say definitely anticipating, but also kind of like dreading, also very nervous about. So I was simultaneously looking forward to it, but also kind of dreading it. I was mostly looking forward to it because it comes to us from director Lee Winnell, who also did the Invisible Man reboot, remake in 2020 that took me by surprise because I was thinking to myself, they keep trying to, Universal keeps trying to reboot their classic monster movie monsters, these classic monster movie franchises, and they haven't really been able to make it really make it pop or stand the test of time like those original films. There have been close attempts. We all know the 1999 Brendan Fraser Mummy movie that's become a classic. I really enjoy that film. There's the forgettable Joe Johnston Wolfman with Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins. That's pretty much like a straightforward remake of that original film from the 40s. There's that unfortunate train wreck of Mummy reboot with Tom Cruise from 2017, which, to be honest, I don't recall really loathing or hating all too much, but I was still pretty let down by it. And I'm obviously a taint in the idea of them starting that dark universe thing where all the monsters were going to inhabit the same universe. And then there came once again the aforementioned Invisible Man reboot. So going into that, I was very much like, okay, here we go. They're going to fail again to reboot another classic monster movie franchise, and they didn't because Lee Winnell they simultaneously made it, of course, a straightforward horror film, but also a surprisingly captivating psychological thriller about someone who's essentially just trying to view a very messed up and abusive relationship as well. So it took me by surprise. So that's why I was anticipating it, but I was also dreading it because, long story short, it's January and this is a horror movie. Enough said. So there's that as well. And having just seen it, I can confidently say that I was right to both anticipate it and dread it more. Unfortunately, I was right to dread it more than anticipated, and breaks my heart. But let's get into why I'm heartbroken. So, what works here, and they attempt to do this. They don't really succeed in doing it, but what works here is once again Lee Winnell attempting to modernize this story, and this time around, this go around, this is essentially a movie about a family who's there's signs that they're struggling. They're on the marriage is on the rocks, all that good stuff, all that jazz. They don't at all do a great job of showing that and setting that up. It's kind of explained in maybe two brief conversations at the very beginning of the movie, but they attempt to establish that this family is having its troubles. So to remedy that, and without of course giving anything away, let's take a trip out to Oregon. Let's go to this nice little cabin in the woods, and let's see if we can rebuild our family bond. But that obviously all goes horribly wrong. Shit hits the fan, and now we got a wolf man. And even when it gets to that, even when it gets to all of the Wolfman goodness that you're paying to see, even when it gets to all of that, I was kind of underwhelmed and even frankly bored by it because it just happens. This is all just happening before my eyes. There's no sense of feeling sorry for the person who's afflicted with what's pretty much a curse, like in every other Wolfman film I've seen, or every other werewolf film in general that I've seen, because that's the whole point of being a werewolf. It sucks to be a werewolf. You can't go, you can't take a nice stroll at night anymore under the full moon because, you know, and every other werewolf film I've seen did a good job of establishing the fact that this can even happen to the nicest of people, like the most undeserving of people. Again, they try to do that here. Christopher Abbott really does do a good job of playing somebody who's you know, sympathetic, who's again kind of they try and establish that he's down on his luck, but just I could have, if there had been more screen time or build up devoted to that, more character development to really show that, then maybe I would have cared. But you don't really get that at all. You don't get, a sense of, again, apart from them saying it, that like that Christopher Abbott and his wife, played by Julia Gardner, are really struggling. They're struggling to have a relationship with their daughter, because they just tell you, but you don't really see it. So without that, I was just kind of like looking at this, kind of like, okay, sucks for them. They're having a tough night. They're having a tough night. And yeah, that's about it. And again, even when the monster is on screen, even when the shit is going down, even when it's supposed to be scary and intense, I was just kind of like, eh, I mean, the effects look decent, look passable, and they're trying to make this tense, but they're not doing the best job at it. And I think that really is because of the weak character development. And bear in mind that this is pretty much, like a claustrophobic film with, it's pretty much just this family. There are stars there who we spend all the time with, and I just didn't find them interesting or captivating characters at all. So that's probably why the werewolf stuff didn't work for me either, because it's happening to them and I didn't give a shit that it was happening to them. And then when it seems like, every time it seemed like finally it's going to do something innovative, it's going to do something different, it's going to do something really cool, it really just doesn't. Stuff just keeps happening up until the very end, and at the very end I was thinking, okay, here we go, and then it's over. It ends. So yeah, very disappointed in this one. It is unfortunately more or less just another January horror film. I was hoping it would be, of course, to be just as good as that Invisible Man reboot. Lee Winnell did a really good job with, just revitalizing that character and putting a very unique spin on it. Not really the case here. Plays out like that, just a straightforward Blumhouse monster movie. Real bummer, real letdown. Definitely feels rushed. And wrapping it up, I'm going to give Wolfman a 5.5 out of 10. There are a couple of things that were kind of cool, were kind of enjoyable. A couple of moments where I was like, okay, that's tense, that's creepy, that's really hard to look at, that's very unsettling. But that's about it. There are also like maybe a handful of moments, maybe like, no, not even a handful, like one or two moments, I could count on one hand, of like suspense or creepiness, but that's about it. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10 for Wolfman. It's another unfortunately, all in all, it's another forgettable January horror film from Blumhouse. It's not as wacky as Night Swim, but it's definitely not in the same league as Invisible Man. So, my invisible friend, wherever you may be, you're still on top, man. You by far, you have the best reboot out there. So congratulations to you, my invisible chum. Rest of you monsters, I hope you guys get your time to shine one day. But for now, this didn't cut it. I hear that the next one up is, I think they're gonna do a creature of the creature. Well, no, I had it right. I was wondering if it was Creature from the Black Lagoon or Creature of the Black Lagoon. It's Creature from the Black Lagoon. I hear they're doing that next with James Wan, so hopefully that's a bit better. But this, just average, just forgettable. So again, 5.5 out of 10 for Wolfman. This has been another edition of Wade Watches, and I'll see all you lovely people next time. Have you seen Wolfman already? If so, what did you think about it? And what's your favorite werewolf movie? Let me know in the comments below if you want to. Peace.